In this episode, I'll be going through the collection strategy. Looking at this template that we got here, we have to define the collection logic, the hero scent, the naming approach, and how we describe the collection narrative. Let me reference my workbook for a second because I need to remember. First, how many scents am I going to launch in the first phase? The ideal range would be 3 to 5. I would say I can pull off the trio launch, just having 3 fragrances in the collection because the narrative is quite tight. But that's only if budget is an issue. If I don't have a budget issue, I would prefer to do 4. We can always release more in the future, but for the beginning, we want to release enough to give variety, but not too much to overwhelm the customer who has no idea what this brand is. And while we're still figuring out all the design decisions. So we're gonna have 4, and if we cannot afford 4, then we're gonna do 3. But I think we can do 4. It doesn't really make that much difference. The only difference would be having to get an extra certificate for the formula, so extra 500 euros. And depending on how we are going to get the fragrance name on the bottle, we might need to buy extra stock of this specific bottle. But if we do the marking ourselves or with like stickers or something, then we would not need to pay any extra for that. Looking at my workbook, referencing what a collection could look like, so we can share the same material, geography, emotional arc, the aesthetic world, or let's see, shared emotion, sense map to different states of times of day. Formal system, no. Okay, for us it's the last one. So based on the workbook, the shared world for all these scents in this collection would be the aesthetic world. So all these scents will belong to the same mood. The notes will differ, the names will differ, the bottle will be the same, but the feeling that this gives you, the aesthetic, is going to be the same. That's the collection logic. The hero scent is probably going to be called Future Self. This is not just a word, this is an actual name for the fragrance that they came up with. It was one of the ideas. And the reason we're choosing this as the hero scent is because this name literally contains the brand positioning within itself. It names the reason why this brand exists, is to give you your future self now. That is why the future self we have here. And although I can't really know the note family at this point, I know that I want this scent to smell wealthy and to smell like really deep and quality. So we're looking at something like dark florals, maybe woods, maybe oud, something in that direction. Other scents, we have just names at this point. We have Sugar Daddy, Bloodline, and 20k. The price I'm going to delete because they're all the same. I mean the reference price of 30 mil. But note family, I know that I want this to be sweet. For the bloodline, I think I want this to smell aggressive and energetic, maybe spicy. For 20k, I would probably put something light. Occasion and mood might be summer, travel, vacation, something like that. Bloodline, this will be more like an energy drink. So maybe you're doing sports, or you're just feeling tired and you want to inject yourself with a little bit of bloodline juice. So that will be the bloodline scent. And then we have Sugar Daddy. Well, I don't know, this might be like dates, casual, maybe winter time. For the future self, I want this to be gender neutral, more like a crowd pleaser. And I know it might seem like, how can this be a crowd pleaser when the brand itself is a rebel and when the person wearing it is a rebel? We're not making this a crowd pleaser for our customer to please the crowd. We're doing this so that the scent itself doesn't polarize. Perhaps the bloodline could be more polarizing than the others. Okay, I found the right words to say this. We want the future self, so the hero scent, to be gender neutral and an everyday scent, because if it's too polarizing, then we can't wear it every day because we will get tired of it. Sure, it has to have some kind of cherry on top to make it feel expensive and interesting, but it cannot be so polarizing that smelling it 2 times makes us not want to smell it again. And when we're talking about the collection narrative, yes, this brand is like a wardrobe for identities, where each scent is a different version of the person you're becoming, or different aspect, I should say. For example, Future Self is your everyday scent. It's like the overall direction where you're going. Sugar Daddy is when you want to go on a date, you want to feel like you can take care of your girl. Bloodline is maybe you're going to some place where you want to dominate. You want to smell polarizing and filter out the people that don't belong in your circle. And And the 20K is just like a fun vacation type fragrance. When you're not working, when you just want to have fun. Similar to Sugar Daddy, but like a summer version of that. The way you would decide which one you wear is simply, what are you doing? What do you want to feel like today? Do you want to feel like your future self? Do you want to remind yourself of the direction? Or you want to smell nice for your lady? Or you just want to go on a vacation? That's about the collection strategy. Now, future collections. This is where I would write any other names that I have in mind. For example, one name I have is Slavic Boyfriend. Again, it might seem silly, but there's like a whole aesthetic for this, and the customers that this brand is attracting, they would probably know about this, at least the younger generations. At this point in time, I don't have any other ideas or limited editions, so I'm not going to fill this out. Finally, I'm going to fill out the summary card to describe what the collections are like. Shared aesthetic world/mood with provocative names and dry humor. 1 to 2 words max per name. Future self is going to be the hero scent, and each scent is a different aspect of the version you are becoming. You wear different scents/identities just like you wear different clothes. Once again, we're matching with who the person is, who the brand is, and all the other things. Like, for example, we said we want punchy sentences, therefore the names too should not be very long, they should be rather punchy and short. I keep telling you that everything revolves around your customer, and if you know your strategy, it's not difficult to make these decisions. I'm literally making all these videos, the last 3-4 episodes, in one day, because I know exactly what I'm doing, because I don't have to guess. I know what the brand is, and all these other decisions, like your collection, your pricing, it's just super simple to make this when you know exactly who you are and who you're trying to attract.